time has come to take the Ford Fiesta to my mechanic. Obviously, it's very minimal stuff that's needed with this car, but I need fuel for it. Very, very minimal indeed. I just want him to take a look at it because there's like zip ties around the, not like valve cover, intake, manifold. That's what it's called. There's also a radiator in the trunk, so I want him to look at everything, more or less do a full inspection on it, fix whatever needs to be fixed, so that I could actually drive it back from his place. That's my goal and that's my request of him, and I know he'll be able to deliver. And then once it's done mechanically, then I'll get the windshield replaced, get it detailed, and kind of go from there. But I'm just trying to make progress with stuff and trying to keep you guys somewhat updated. That is my next step, and I am taking it on the trailer. I am going to back it up because the hood isn't latched and I don't want it to open and cause unnecessary damage. So I just want to make sure tires are okay, and then we get it loaded on, strapped down, and to my mechanic. Beautiful. And we know it is strong enough to move under its own power, even at an incline in reverse. So strapping it down, off to my mechanic, and hopefully next time you guys see it, next time I see it, it will be ready to go mechanically, and we'll actually drive it forward for the first time from my mechanic shop. Ford Fiesta is back at my house. I have done, I feel like, a lot to this car. So new tires were installed. I have been daily driving this thing kind of on and off for a little bit now. But most importantly, I do have a new bumper for it, and I do have a new grille for it. I have not unpackaged the grille, so I don't know what it looks like. Curious how this is held in. But the goal right now is actually to take off this bumper, but I took a quick look moments before I grabbed the camera, and I feel like I will struggle. There's like zip ties in random spots. Yeah, this will be fun. And the funny thing is, when my mechanic had the car, when he was looking over, he goes, just sell it with the bumper like this. He's like, if you take it off, I don't know if you'll be able to put a new bumper back on it. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I am excited because I think that's literally the last thing that I have to do on this car is get that bumper replaced. It's already been detailed. Just have to vacuum up, a few spots, because obviously I've been using the car. And then I can photograph it and list it for sale. This was obviously a longer project, but mechanically it runs good. Still has under 70,000 miles. I think it'll go quick. I hope it will go very quick.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And the front end is pretty much all apart. That was more difficult than it should have been, but honestly it still wasn't terrible. I took off the headlights in order to get to bracket over here that connects it. If not, I would have had to take apart the fender liner, and I figured that's too much work, and then I'd probably have to turn the wheels in order to get to it from each side. Anyways, it's all off. I am going to go inside. Could actually add some fluid in here. I'll go inside and prep the bumper I have, the grill and everything else, and then we will start the process backwards.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Ford Fiesta is almost done. I had someone scheduled an appointment, so I honestly rushed, and then they called and I didn't realize car has a salvage title. Be very helpful if people read. But this is what we have so far. It looks a lot better. This gap I'm hoping to fix because I forgot to put a rubber bracket underneath, and that will raise the whole bumper up a little bit and close the gap on the headlights. But I will do that from the lot, and we will see, I guess, how successful I will be with that. And here is our finished product. Obviously it is not perfect, and I could see the paint doesn't necessarily match all the way, but plastic versus metal, and this was just painted by the paint code. It wasn't blended. You will be able to see a slight difference. And then I had an extremely difficult time getting this grill in. It would literally not budge, and as you guys could see, I even bent this a little bit trying to force it. Broke 2 tabs. I mean, for whatever reason, it could be aftermarket grill, aftermarket bumper. Nothing is factory, so you know, imperfections happen. But aside from that, the hood still has a few minor spots. You know, slight gap. I think tab is broken here, and then is broken here and right there on the headlight, but they work, and we have come a very long way with this car. I was honestly not expecting a perfect car by any means, but I did take a risk on this car. If you guys have seen the first video, we really have come a long way with this one, and I am pulling up on my phone how much this car ended up costing me all in as it sits, as you guys see it. It's a 2017 Ford Fiesta with like 69,700 miles. So miles are pretty darn low for the car. Just any car in general under 100,000 is actually considered to be pretty decent. Let's see, where is my Fiesta? So with fees, I purchased the car for $792, which was crazy. I purchased this car as a non-runner. It had a key, and it had a light on the dash that said key not recognized or something along those lines, which is why I figured it's probably a key issue more than anything. In the picture, the key showed that the buttons were missing. I know it's a chip key. So this was a very educated purchase, I would say. And this is what I did to this car. To get a new key, programmed and cut, I paid $180. I purchased a new hood latch for it, which was $25. I purchased a new coolant reservoir. Not that there was something wrong with it, but the cap didn't really go on very well, and I saw that the thread on the coolant reservoir was a little bit off, and I figured I want to make it right as much as I can where I can. So I purchased a new one for $24. I bought new tires, and I have used these tires for other vehicles, one of my personal vehicles. I bought them from Walmart. They are, I think, Waterfall brand. Surprisingly, they are very quiet, smooth tires. For the price, I have yet to find a single tire that would beat this tire. So for 4 new tires, I paid $206. That is what, $52 roughly a tire? And I paid $60 to get them mounted and installed. I purchased new spray nozzles because the ones I had on here were really weird, so I got Ford ones. Those were $7. The front bumper was the expensive purchase, $491 for the front bumper. I paid $60 for a detail. The reason why it was only $60 is because the detailer goofed up on the previous car. He told me he would take much less. So that's why this one was $60. Typically would have been more. But regardless, that's what I paid, and I saved some money there. I did get a new windshield for it because the other one was broken, and I paid $250 for a new windshield, $50 for the grill. And when I initially purchased the vehicle, I used my flooring line to buy it, which was $103 with fees and interest for this car. And that brings our grand total to this number you guys see on the screen. I did not add everything up on my phone yet, but you guys see the total I paid for this car. This is as it sits. That's not counting my time, obviously, the parts I replaced, but I mean, this is what you can get technically for that price. And again, someone who's looking for just a daily driver to and from work, college, whatever, this is not a bad option. It will have a rebuild title, currently have a salvage title for it. It has imperfections, but personally, I would drive it. I have actually done maybe 200 miles in this car. It runs great, doesn't overheat, everything works, shifts good, makes good power, and it is very fuel economical. So I want to say thank you for watching second part of this video. Let me know what you guys think. Is it worth it at this price? What do you guys think retail value on this car is? I believe last time I checked, with the history, Carfax gave it a value of around $7,000, which obviously I am well below that on this car. And it has a whole bunch of new parts on it. You know, I am remembering I probably didn't add that I purchased a new battery for this car, which was another $80. So add that to the total. But I am happy with it. I think it turned out great. I am ready to sell it, ready to start working on other cars or purchasing other cars and start working on them. But I do have a whole bunch of projects that I am currently working on. I want to say thank you for watching. Really appreciate you guys' support. Hope you consider subscribing. I will see you guys in another video.